This is a short introduction to Congo. There are tutorials covering how to start a new play, how to select channels. This is more like a demonstration of the system to give you a general idea. Congo is designed to allow you to work fast and on the fly. It's hardware-oriented, meaning that the fastest way to use the system is to enter commands on the console. Let go of the mouse. Don't use the trackball. You don't need it. Plus, it forces you to look on the screens. Now, this is what the screens look like when you start a new show. Everything is shown in something called a tab, and the main tab that's open is the Live tab, this one. This is where you see channels and levels. If you want to go to a tab, every tab has a direct key. So if you want to see the main Playback tab, you hit the Playback key in the console. If you want to go back to the Live tab, hit the Live key in the console. If you want to see both at the same time, hold the tab key and press the down arrow. You get a split screen. There are 80 master playbacks that you can use with numerical commands or physical faders in different configurations of the hardware. The Playback tab belongs to the theatrical style main playback, which has dedicated controls in the console. So on top of the 80 masters, you have a main theatrical style playback. Now, if you already forgot what I told you about the tab key and splitting, there's a help function in Congo. If you hold the help key and press tab, you're going to open the help for the tab key. And as you can see, it has a short description of the key, all the functions that are related to it, and where you find more information. Now I'm meddling with the mouse here. I can drop that out of the screen because if you want to go to that link, you hold the C key in the keypad and use the down arrow. And if you hit modify, you're opening that link. Press escape to close it. I'll get back to the help function later. Around the screen you have dock areas. This is a dock area, that's a dock area, and this is a dock area. You can have 4 on each screen. This dock area is called the browser. It has a direct key called the browser. Open or close it with the browser key. Now the browser contains all data in your console and all commands all rolled into one box to make it fast to navigate. So you use the arrow keys to navigate inside the browser. Up and down arrow to navigate up and down, and the right or left arrow to open and close nodes. Down at the bottom of the browser, you have the help system that I opened with a help key just previously. You can read it just like a book here. Just press modify to open a node. And another cute thing in the browser is above the help system, you have a media node where you can open a movie node with all these tutorials. So check them out and check the help function out once you're done with this welcome thing. There's a tutorial covering patching, so let's just assume we have a one-to-one patch of some conventional lights here and some moving lights that I threw in, but I'm not going to go into how they were patched. Let's look at the console. In the middle of the console at the top, you have a switch. This switch has 3 positions. Now, if you want some lights on stage, you can flip this fader switch to channels only. And some users call this the janitor switch because it converts Congo into a single scene manual lighting console where anybody can get light on stage using the channel faders. Switch it back to the fader position. Forget the other position for now. Channels. Well, a channel handle is what you use to select any kind of device in Congo. So a channel could be a dimmer, it could be a moving device, it could be a media server. And to control it, well, enter the number and move the level wheel. That's the easiest way. So if I enter 5 and move the level wheel, I'm setting a level to channel 5. I'll zoom in the channel view now by holding the format key and using the level wheel. There you go. So 5 is at 97. If I want to set a level to channel 1, I enter 1 and I move the level wheel. As you notice, what I'm doing is I'm entering the number first and moving the level wheel after. That's the Congo command syntax. Number first and function after. Now the command syntax of Congo is designed for speed. There is no enter key and no commands are more than 2 or 3 key presses. The fundament of making this work is always enter the number first. If you're not used to this, you might want to spend a couple of minutes getting used to it, because if you ask any of the 1,000 users out there, they're probably going to tell you that it's worth it. Once you realize how fast this allows you to work with more complex functions, there's no going back. However, if you're used to app mode and you want to select channels that way and run the rest of the Congo system in Congo syntax, you can adjust this in the system settings. I brought 2 channels up. If I want to store them, we use a building block called a preset. So I hit record on the console, I can enter a name, or I can hit record again, and it's recorded. 2 things happen. All lights on stage with the level are stored into the first free preset, and it's put into the main playback, into the main sequence. If I enter 0 and go to, I will fade to 0. If I enter 1 and go to, I'll fade to that look. So what you see is what you record. Very simple. If I'd like to record these 2 channels to a master instead, I just have to make sure they're selected. So if I press the Alt key in the console, they're both selected. I'll hold record and press the key under master 1. And there I am. I have a dialog allowing me to store this as a preset in that master or starting to record a sequence. And I hit record again to confirm it. So recording stuff is very easy. If we look at the console again, at the top right corner, you have another switch. Now, this is where you have the Grandmaster and the blackout switch, but this switch has another position called freeze. Now, this is kind of a unique Congo function. It'll take a snapshot of the current output and hold it, allowing you to mess around programming without worrying what happens on stage. Make sure it's in the 12 o'clock position when you want to start using the console, though. To the left of that, you have 6 fader knobs and 3 buttons. These are the independents. For instruments that you want to control but you don't want to record, like house lights, work lights, follow spot, or smoke machines, this is the special section where you can assign them. You can open a dock area for them where you can see what levels they're on. Then we have 2 more sections of the console, the moving light parameter control section and the direct selects. Moving lights are selected just like channels. So if you enter 51 and move the level wheel, if 51 is a moving light, it'll be selected. Now you can tell the difference. A normal channel has a white channel handle and a small box. A moving device has a yellow handle and a bigger box. If there's color mixing, there's a color spot that will change color as you adjust it. And you can see the name of the template of that device. This is a Verilight 2500. I'm going to open the console mimic because that's the easiest way for me to show you how to control that part of the console for moving devices. Controlling moving lights is very simple. All the controls are grouped into 3 parameter groups. Focus parameters, which are pan and tilt, where you have the wheels to control them. Color parameters and beam parameters. If there are more than 4 parameters in a parameter group, you can step through the pages of these. So if I hit color once, I get cyan, magenta, yellow, and color wheel. If I hit it again, I go to the second page of color functions. I hit it again, I'm back at the top. There's a wheel and there's a wheel key. The wheel allows me to adjust values with the wheel, and the key allows me to go to 0 or 100 or to any level. I could say 33 and press the wheel. You can see the color spot here has changed to reflect color mix I'm doing. Of course, I can store focus, color, and beam parameters into palettes that are referenced, so I don't have to adjust the values manually every time. I can store moving devices to masters or to the main sequence or to effects. Now the last section of the consoles are the direct selects, and I want to show them to you now because they really speed up how you use moving devices. These are the direct selects. Okay, so you have 4 groups of 10 keys, and you can assign any type of parameter to each group. So if you hold the type key, you can say I want to have focus palettes here, and in the top one I want to have color palettes, and I want to have beam palettes, and then I want to have groups. So this is data that has been pre-stored, and you can access it from here. So once a device is selected, if I want to see more information about that device, I hold format, press the down arrow, and now I can set this light to be wide, pointed at the band in green. In addition to this, if you hold, for example, the gobo wheel key, you're automatically going to get the first 40 gobos on the direct keys. Or if you hold color, you're going to get the first 40 color palettes. So any key in the console that you hold temporarily down will give you 40 of its items in the direct selects. It's a very fast way to program. Now some parameters for moving lights, for example shutters or color mixing, are easier to control with faders than they are with wheels. For example, cyan, magenta, and yellow, or shutters. If I want to use them on faders instead, I just hold the wheel key and press the master. And that will put that parameter on the master. Magenta, yellow. So this allows me to mix these values with faders instead. And for shutters, that's such a relief. And every master has a zillion settings that you can adjust exactly to whatever you want to do at the moment. Good luck.